So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Flag 58 rail. Flag 58 rail. Here we go now.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Following the interception, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. D. Ford in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Cousins the thrower. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They give him a gain of 38.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Pass incomplete. Kareem Hunt, his running back, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On the carry, it's Cook. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. To throw is Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And down inside the 15 he goes. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, Cousins. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw, Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to the back end of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Here we go.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a 1st down. Mahomes now on 1st down. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 38 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Charles, as Minnesota takes the field here, let me get your thoughts on what you think of them coming down the stretch. The 1-3 start. We talked about their start last year, too. But is this a team that is being overlooked by others in the NFL right now?
I don't think so. I think that the teams that they're playing know how capable the Vikings are, and they realize that not only is the defense starting to get back to what they were last season, but that Kirk Cousins getting more and more comfortable with the weapons he has at his disposal. I think maybe we in the media on the outside are overlooking them a little bit because they've taken some losses to some significant teams so far this season. But I think down the stretch, you mentioned their start last year. They were 2-2 to start last year. 1-3 this year. They know how to put together a string, and this team could be dangerous come December.
Yeah, they've looked a lot better since that 1-3 start. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Play fake. Cousins. He may try and run for this. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Butker now to kick this one away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And got his man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the sack master, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Z. Slow.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Green, blue 45.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Butker able to put this one through. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Butker now to kick this one away. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
Ace. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. 30. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Tyreek Hill on the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Mahomes now on first down. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On first down, Murray. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Cousins now on second down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. Bailey got the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Bailey now to kick this one away. The return man is Hill. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Mahomes going to throw, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. I want to switch gears, Charles, and get your favorite play of the year so far. Look, I know we don't have a Minnesota miracle like we saw at the end of last season, but what's been the one that's caught your attention the most?
Well, wouldn't Linval Joseph picking up a fumble against Philadelphia and bringing it all the way back count as a Minnesota miracle?
That would, the earth shaker.
That's a lot of man carrying the football, and he got all the way to the end zone. Oxygen. What a great play there.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to get him for a loss of 5. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. His defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Following the interception, Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Anthony Hitchens in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. 3rd and long for Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a 1st down. Cousins now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels...
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing is Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Bailey able to knock it through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Here we go now.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Looking left side and he's got a man. It's Watkins. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mahomes now on first down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Aho. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Reggie Ragland coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Let's go.
Here's Cousins. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Cousins to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. What a play. Maybe a game-saving play on the knockdown there.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? If you're looking at it from the defense's perspective, they looked like they had a shot at it. Maybe a completion. Ball gets knocked away. Can they rise up and do it again?
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Watkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another first down.
Black 58, Will. Black 58, Will. Z.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Throwing here, Cousins. He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's